Hero recently rolled out its most premium product yet, the reborn Karizma. And when we rode it in isolation a few weeks ago, it came across as a rather impressive motorcycle, but also quite different to the Karizma of old. It's now a more serious little sports bike. And in the world of serious little sports bikes, it has to take on the king of the hill, the Yamaha R15. And so today we're pitting them head to head to see which one comes out on top. Both these bikes are attention magnets. You've got sporty, fully fed designs and intentful stances. The Karizma is the more substantial motorcycle here, and so it gives it more road presence. But the R15 is a very neat looking and well finished motorcycle, even if it is a little small. By housing its headlight inside its air intake, the R15 mimics the design language on Yamaha's larger R series sports bikes and ends up with a neat minimalist design. The layered side fairing and the cutouts in the tail section also add to the special feeling here, and quality levels are typical Yamaha, which is to say superb. All this combines to make the R15 feel like a rather premium machine despite its diminutive stature. The Karizma is a handsome motorcycle in its own right, but it doesn't look quite as aggressive or as special as the Yamaha. Its side fairings aren't quite as expansive and the tail section isn't quite as sleek. You also see that it's built to a cost when you notice things like the simple box section swing arm and the conventional telescopic fork. The R15 gets a nice looking alloy swing arm and a lovely golden upside down fork. Both bikes trade punches on the features front. The Yamaha is the only one to give you traction control and a quick shifter, and it's a rather smooth and slick quick shifter, though it only works when shifting up. And even though this particular R15M is an older unit sporting an LCD display, the latest R15M now gets a color TFT dash with Bluetooth connectivity. The rest of the R15 range still gets the same LCD display that you see here. The Karizma also gets Bluetooth but only offers an LCD display. It's an informative unit, but the white on black layout is almost impossible to read when the sun is directly overhead. In terms of unique features here, it offers an adjustable windscreen, but the adjustment mechanism on our bike was jammed in place, and even when it does move, the window of adjustment is limited and the windscreen is quite low, so the effectiveness is limited as well. One useful and valuable feature here is the automatic LED headlight, which turns on and off according to ambient light. Overall though, the Karizma's quality is not at the same level as the Yamaha, but it is among the best we've seen from Hero to date. The obvious fact here is that the Karizma is the quicker motorcycle. It's got the larger, more powerful engine. But there's more to it than that. There's a difference in how they deliver this power. The R15 makes the most of its VVA system to give you very linear delivery across the rev range. Yes, it's still an engine that enjoys being revved out and does its best work at the top of the rev range, but there's no step change in delivery at any point in the rev band. The Karizma, on the other hand, is a more peaky motor. Above 6,000 RPM is where it really comes alive and does its best, and there's a nice rush all the way to the red line. Below that point, it's a little flat, and the end result is that in most real-world situations, the Karizma is still, of course, the quicker motorcycle, but not by quite as much as you might think. You'll also find that even though it's down on displacement and accelerates more slowly, you'll actually be able to hit a higher top speed on the R15. Though both bikes can reach a speedo indicated 140 kph and both feel quite comfortable at a 100 kph highway cruise, despite sitting at around the 7,000 RPM mark. Both engines are quite smooth for the most part and only become slightly buzzy once you're into the upper reaches of their tachometers. Despite this, both bikes are good fun to rev out. In fact, when it comes to sheer sound, character and a free revving feel, the Karizma's engine feels more involving. That being said, the Karizma also pays the price for its larger engine when it comes to fuel efficiency, returning lower figures than the extremely efficient Yamaha. The Hero will give you about 35 to 40 kpl in most situations, while the smaller, lighter R15 can go almost 10 kpl higher than that. The R15 marks itself out as the more serious motorcycle in the way that it seats you and the way that it handles. It's a fairly aggressive riding position. You've got these high rear set foot pegs and there's a sizable reach down to these low clip-on handlebars. Definitely not the most comfortable for everyday use, but you feel properly connected to the motorcycle when you start attacking some corners, which is something that the R15 does superbly well. As it always has been, the R15 is extremely engaging and almost telepathic in the way it handles, returning great feedback from the road and allowing you to carry immense corner speeds. It also offers more cornering clearance, and so it's better suited to hard riding and especially racetrack use. Despite this, it offers reasonably comfortable ride quality with a well-judged setup that does a good job over smaller bumps and imperfections. Over the really rough stuff though, you do get the sense that travel is limited and the riding position makes you feel a lot more discomfort. One thing that you do feel is just how light the Yamaha is. At 141 kilos, it's over 20 kilos lighter than the Karizma, and this is something you sense in the real world, especially at low speeds and when picking the bikes up off their side stands. The Karizma is a more measured and balanced motorcycle. The riding position here is sporty too, but not quite as aggressive. There's less weight on your wrists, less strain on your back and your neck, and overall you're a little more upright and a little more relaxed. Despite this, it's still a fairly capable motorcycle in the corners, but you don't feel quite as connected as you do on the R15. It also doesn't handle mid-corner bumps quite as well. Over big undulations, it can lose its composure a little. But the flip side of that is that you get the more absorptive and forgiving ride quality of this pair. Neither bike here offers super sharp brakes, but both have adequately powerful stoppers that get the job done when needed. Both also have a slip and assist clutch and manage to stop in about 17 to 18 meters from 60 kph. In our time with both these bikes, the Karizma was the one we preferred to ride in almost all situations except for a smooth winding road. It's not only quicker but also a whole lot more comfortable, and as far as life on the road goes, it is the superior riding experience. Over the years, the R15 has become something of a cult icon in India. It's more or less remained the best serious sports bike you can buy for this sort of money. But in that process, it's also become more focused and one-dimensional. Even today, it's the bike to have if you're visiting the track often and you're serious about improving your riding skills. And you've also got the traditional Yamaha levels of desirability and quality. But in almost every other aspect, the Karizma comes across as the better everyday sports bike and the better overall package. It's quicker, it seats you more comfortably, offers a more forgiving ride and packs in a healthy features list. And it does all this while undercutting the Yamaha on price, which makes it the winner here.